Okay, so today's topic is examining the NTFS disk. So NTFS, as I told you yesterday, it is New Technology File System. Okay, NTFS is New Technology File System. It was introduced when Microsoft created the Windows NT, and it is the primary file system for Windows Vista. Okay, each generation of the Windows since the NT has, they had certain slight changes in the NTFS configuration and features. Okay, now this NTFS design, it was partially based on the features from the IBM, okay, operating system of the IBM. So it had high performance file system. Okay, so the operating system had high performance file system. And to be an effective computer forensics investigator, you should maintain a library of old operating systems and application software. And you should also keep older hardware that is in good working condition. You might need a lot of old software and hardware to do analysis based on some forensic task, because certain forensic tasks cannot be performed with modern tools. This is one important factor. So if you want to learn in detail about the NTFS structures, because that is a new technology file system, if you are interested about it and if you want to learn more about it, you can go to www.linux-ntfs.org. I'll just share that. Are you able to see the notepad? Somebody can reply in the chat box. I've typed the link where you can find this NTFS. Okay. Okay, now are you able to see www.linux-ntfs.org? So this is the link where you can get more detailed explanation of the NTFS structures, because this is the future. Okay, now I've some students have said yes, they are able to view the whiteboard. Okay, so this is why I'm emphasizing a lot on this is the next generation, right? The future file system. Already about operating system, the current operating system, we have a lot of like what is it? We have a lot of details about it. We have book Andrew Tannenbaum book where the detailed explanation of the OS, how synchronization is done, how the file tables are there, how you organize a file, complete information about the current operating system is given. Whereas if you want to know about the new technology, because the new technology file system is a upcoming one, for that you can use this link. That is why I've specifically told about it. Okay, now what is this NTFS going to do? It is going to show some significant improvements over the FAT file system. So FAT was the one we studied in the previous slides. So that is predominant in all the current old operating systems and the current ones also. The new technology is going to have a lot of improvements over the FAT file system. So it provides information about a file, including the security features also, the file ownerships and file attributes. Everything will be in a more structured and detailed manner. So with this NTFS, you'll have more control over the files and folders than you have with the file system. Okay. So NTFS was Microsoft's best move towards the file system development. And the system keeps tracks of all the transactions, whether a file is deleted or it is saved. And it also helps in recording the transaction. Then it has everything, what NTFS has everything written to the disk. Okay, it also does the disk writing. On a NTFS disk, generally you have the first data, that is the partition boot sector. Okay, so you have the first data that is written called as the partition boot sector, which is same like your previous operating system. So all that I'm talking now is the introduction of the NTFS. Okay, so the first data is the partition boot sector. I'm repeating again. And immediately the next one is the master file table. Master file table. We will be seeing in detail what is this MFT or master file table. It is similar to the FAT, which is there in the previous other operating systems. But MFT or a master file table is created at the same time a disk partition is formatted. Okay, so whenever you start a disk for partitioning, at the same time this MFT will be created. And as the data is kept on added, the MFT or the master file table can be expanded. Okay, so generally the main thing that you need to understand in NTFS structure is it has the first data is called partition boot sector, and the second, then immediately next to the partition boot sector is the master file table, which is the main important component of NTFS. We'll be studying about MFT in detail. So what is this MFT? It is similar to FAT, but the thing is it can be created at the same time whenever you do a disk partition. And also it can expand as and when the data is also added. One more important advantage of NTFS is that it does not have this lag space. It has, but it is very less. The lag space is very less. So what is this lag space used for? This is the space which the people know who wanted to hide data, they generally use the slack space. So this NTFS has very less slack space. So data hiding cannot be done in large extent like the other FAT operating system. And what else I need to give about NTFS is it also includes the all the files related to the NTFS is also maintained in the MFT. Now we will go to the other things. So if you see here, you can see there are a lot of system calls, system API calls in Windows 2000. So they are telling these system calls you already know, create a file, delete a file, and all these things, right? So generally a file system will have basically 7 parameters, and that will be a pointer to the file name. Whatever file name you create, you have a pointer to it, because only with using the pointer you can access your file. Its pointer is nothing but an address, right? Then you have flags which can be set to read, write mode, and then how you handle multiple processes when you open the file again and again. Then you have other things like what are the attributes of file when the file is archived or it is compressed. Then what is the handle of a file? Okay, so these are the basic in Windows 2000. Now, if you go to a copying a file, so we are seeing first a normal operating system Windows 2000, then we will go on to this NTFS. So when you see a normal operation of copying a file, it will open a file and it gives the handles, it uses handles to open and close the file. Generally, the kernel program uses handles that you would have learned in your operating system. So similar, the same Linux programming only it does here. And as well as you can also create directories using your operating systems, right? You have system calls for directories. So creating a directory and removing a directory and reading, moving a file into a directory, etc. So now let us go to this. So this is what is about a normal operating system, just to give an idea, because you might forget the features of the normal operating system. So we are taking an example of Windows 2000, explaining the operations inside the Linux or any operating system, which, for example, Windows 2000 is taken here. So when you write this answer, you can also describe how, if suppose if they ask you how your NTFS varies with the other operating system, you can take the example of this and write about Windows 2000, how the working takes place, how the file systems are in Windows 2000, and you can then move on to explain about the factors in NTFS. Okay, so as I told you, NTFS is nothing but it is going to replace the FAT file system, and it has a design from the scratch. Okay, the design is going to be from the, it's not improvisation of the FAT file system. It is a new technology fact. So from the scratch, the design begins, and it is more complex, and the features are fully designed. Okay, there is no blocks here and there. All the features are properly structured and they are properly designated. So suppose you have a partitioning. When you do that, partitioning has a specific format of how to do it. Okay, so each volume will have certain type of blocks. So it can be either 4 KB block size, or it can be a 64-bit block ID can be there. So if you say 4 KB block size, it is specific. Okay, the design will be specific for 4 KB. If your volume you want to further increase or expand it, yes, you can do that. You can make it into 6 KB. So that is the scalability of the system, file system is very efficient in NTFS. What is scalability? Expanding according to the necessary condition. Okay, so expanding the volume, yes, it is possible in NTFS. And then we talked about this master file table. Okay, so each volume, every partition will have this MFT. That's what I told you. So whenever you create a partition, automatically the master file table is going to be activated. So let's see in detail about this master file table. Generally, this MFT, in this MFT, all the files and folders, they are stored in separate records. Okay, they have a separate storage, and it is of 1024 bytes. Each record holds around 1024 bytes. And each record contains the files or folder information. Okay, see, I'm going very slow because this is a new file system. All these concepts will be new for you. That is why I'm going slowly, and I can also repeat that. Okay, so let me repeat it. This MFT is nothing but the master file table. So MFT generally has all the files and folders to be stored in separate records, and each record is 1024 bytes. And this record is going to contain all the files or folder information. Okay. So this information can be divided into record fields. And the record fields, they contain the metadata. Okay, so subdata, data, the subdata is called the metadata. And each record field, they call it as a attribute field. Okay, so here if you see in this diagram, there is a metadata files listed here. Okay, so they say here that there are 16 entries are reserved for this metadata. 16 entries are there. This MFT itself is a file. It has 16 entries, so it can be called as a folder which has a file. So the first record describes the MFT itself. See the first record, master file table. Can you see in the zeroth portion? It says master file table. So the first record will actually contain the MFT file itself. Okay. Now next, we have to know how the file or folder is typically stored. So the file or folder inside your MFT is going to be stored in two ways. One is called the resident and the other one is called non-resident. Okay, one is called the resident, the other one is called non-resident. Don't worry, this I'm recording this class, so I will send it to you. Okay, don't worry about it. You can listen to it again and you can get more clarity when you second time when you listen to the audio, you'll understand it more. So let me repeat it. So there are in MFT, the files or folders can be saved in two ways or stored in two ways. One is a resident and the other one is called non-resident. So for very small files, about 512 bytes or less, all these file metadata and will be stored in the MFT record itself. Okay, these type of records are only called as resident files because all their information is stored in the MFT record itself. So there is something called this MFT record, right? So when you store small file data into it, they are called as resident files. Files which are larger, files that are larger than 512 bytes, they are generally stored outside the MFT. Okay, they are generally stored outside the MFT and that is why they are called non-resident because they are outside the MFT. When you save the records inside the MFT, it is called resident. When it is outside, it is called non-resident. Just understand like, you're a resident of India and some people are non-resident of India, right? Just like that. Okay, now we'll go to the next slide. So this is about the attributes. So there are a lot of attributes in metadata. So there are about, I've just mentioned a very few, but there are about 10 to 11 attributes. But these attributes that I mentioned here are the important ones. Okay, just stay in the line. Okay, so before going on to this attribute, I want to tell about this MFT record, a few points about it. So this MFT record, I told you, it can be stored in two ways, resident and non-resident way. So this MFT record, each record, it will start with a header. Okay, that header is going to tell you whether it is a resident attribute or a non-resident attribute. And the first four characters or the first 4 bytes for all the MFT records are file. And next to it only your header information starts. So this header is nothing but, okay, simply you remember that the MFT record has header and this header is going to tell you whether it is a resident or a non-resident, whether this particular file is within the MFT or whether it is outside. Okay. Okay, now let's go on to this attributes. So what are the attributes mentioned here? As you see, The attributes are log file, attribute def, bitmap, boot, upcase. Okay. So in your textbook, certain other attributes are also given, like volume name, volume information, index root, index allocation. So different other attributes are also given. You can also check with that also. And these are the main four. So what is a log file? Suppose you want to make any changes to your file system, you must know whether they are logged in the correct, where they are logged first. Okay. Once you understand where they are logged, then only you can be able to locate that file. So in case if the system is down, or if it is shut down, or if power cut happens, then if you know where it has been logged, then only you can try to recover it. Now the next attribute is the attribute def. So actually all the attributes are defined within this parameter, within this attribute. And the next one is bitmap. It keeps track of all the free blocks. Okay, what are the free blocks? As I told you before, in NTFS, the slack space is very less. So you can easily keep track of the free blocks. So we are using an attribute here to keep a track of it. Now next is about boot. So what is boot? You know what is booting, system booting. So loading from the system configuration and informing that everything is working perfectly fine. And then you have upcase, which is nothing but mapping of the different file names. Okay, you generally map the file names. When do you do that? Whenever there is a search operation, that is the time this can be really useful. Okay, now I'll just give a little, from the first, I'll just give a wrap through, because this is a bit new topic. We can't just hurry about it. Those who came late can again have a run through of this concepts. Okay, just stay online. So I'll give an run through of what we happened so far. Just stay online.